Okay, we are on the last module, group development and moving forward. So you are almost done. This really is going to have you look ahead for the remainder of the school year and beyond to consider how you can develop group identity as a peer educator. We're going to look at group formation, mission and vision, qualities of highly effective peer educator groups, the role of your advisor slash your program manager that you're going to be working under, and then we'll do a module review. So we first want to look at Tuckman's cycle of group formation. When we think about roles we play in groups, we must recognize the process of group formation is a cycle. The nature of the group and our relationships with our team members are constantly evolving. As such, we really are going to talk about this five-step cycle of group formation, and the cycle includes five stages: forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. So forming is the first stage in the cycle of group formation. This is really looking at the honeymoon stage when individuals avoid conflict to be accepted. So maybe some excitement in the interview, some excitement in the training. That's our forming stage. We will do icebreakers and team builders to help establish the team, but this sometimes is pretty short-lived. This stage usually ends when conflict begins. We might have conflict in our groups as time goes on. So some helpful tools for you in this stage and for us to do with you are icebreakers discussion, clarifying expectations as a group, maybe assigning tasks within the group. So that's kind of what this stage looks like. We have storming, and as the name storming says, the formation stage ends and conflict may begin. The storming stage is characterized by conflict. Conflict is a normal part of groups, even with amongst our program managers and our full-time staff. We sometimes have different ideas, different working styles, and we have to talk through some of these ideas that are conflicting. High functioning teams and groups can go through the storming stage with successful conflict management techniques. So we, can reinforce ground rules. We can have open discussions. When in the storming stage, it can be helpful to maybe plan a retreat or plan time to go get coffee so we can openly discuss our feelings, concerns. And again, if you ever have any like conflict in your group and you don't know how to resolve it, you can go to your program manager and see how y'all can all get together to work through some of these issues that are arising. Then we have the norming stage. When the group moves into a norming stage, it has successfully managed conflicts that have arisen. As such, group norms are set and a group identity develops. Group expectations are set and followed, and any damaged relationships from the storming stage are repaired. Groups in the norming stage might find it helpful to encourage members to embrace change and celebrate accomplishments. When we look at the performing stage, when the group hits that stage, it is considered to be high functioning. This stage is characterized by the fact that conflict occurs, but it's dealt with at little expense to the group's functioning. When the groups are in this stage, we must recognize that norms can be created. These norms can affect the group's ability to consider new ideas or to welcome new members or external stakeholders. We kind of can sometimes get set in our ways, so we have to be mindful of that. When in the performing stage, the group must share responsibilities and recognize both individual and collective efforts. Recognition and celebration is especially important moving forward. Make sure your group considers different ways to honor each other and celebrate each other, as each person prefers to be recognized probably differently. I like to be privately recognized. I don't like to be in a big meeting where somebody calls out my accomplishments. I like to privately be talked to about my accomplishments. So learn how people like to be celebrated. This stage is the adjourning stage. A group reaches this adjourning stage because either new members are joining or old members are leaving. We have this a lot of times, pretty much every semester. People graduate in December and they graduate in May. We bring on a whole new team in August. So this is an adjourning stage happens many times throughout our peer ed process. Anytime a member either joins or leaves the groups must go through this cycle of group formation again. This is because every person contributes their own unique perspective to the group. This loss or gain of perspective shifts shifts the entire group's dynamic. Often, the process of going through these stages is shorter than when the group initially formed. However, the process must still be followed. Useful tools for the adjourning stage include holding an end of the year celebration or official duties, officially transferring over your duties. And we do peer ed celebrations in December and in May. As you can see, the cycle, the screen depicts the cycle of group formation. This is how groups form and how groups are forced to reform upon the completion of the adjourning stage. So we're going to look at some videos that illustrate a year in the life of a peer educator group going through each of the stages. After the video, I want you to consider these questions. What signs indicate the stage this group is in? What challenges might a group encounter in this stage? And what could or should the group do to move forward from this stage? And here's video 1.
Oh, hey y'all, do you want to join the peer education club? Maybe, what exactly do you do? How much of a time commitment is it?
I think I've talked to you all before. I would love to help other students.
Well, I'm glad we've been helpful to you. So what we do is we help students talk through any issues that they may have and direct them to other resources on campus. We're both a listening ear and a source of information for students. We meet one night a week for training or to work on some stuff. We also all hold at least one office hour a week. Outside of that, you guys can decide how involved you want to be. You really can make of it what you want. We always love having new members. Sounds fun. You seem like you all like each other. When's your next meeting?
We meet every Wednesday in the Student Center. See you then.
We'll both be there.
So the questions to consider: what signs indicate the stage this group is in? What challenge might a group encounter in this stage? What could or should the group do to move forward from this stage? Here's the next video.
So, how do we feel how the fall break event went? Well, I definitely think there weren't as many people at this event as there has been in the past few years. Personally, I rarely saw any advertisements. Like, did we even post on social media about it?
I posted on social media right before the event. And I did put up posters, but making them and printing them and putting them up, it just all took a lot longer than I was expecting.
I asked if you needed help a couple of weeks ago, but you said you had it all covered. Why didn't you let us help you get it done?
I was in charge of designing the posters and stuff, so I kind of just wanted to get it done by myself, you know? I didn't know how much time it would take.
Well, maybe next time we should not put this all on one person to get it done. We should do it all together. I mean, we are planning the final event soon, and we don't want something like this to happen again.
Or next time we make sure someone isn't in charge of advertisements.
Everybody makes mistakes. It was one event, we'll have others. You know what? Why don't you design the poster yourself next time?
So some questions to consider. What signs indicate the stage this group is in? What challenges might a group encounter in this stage? What could or should the group do to move forward from this stage? Here's video 3.
All right, folks, well, thanks for coming together. I heard from the rest of the group that there was a little bit of conflict during the meeting where you all discussed how the fall event went, especially around advertising. So I hope we could just spend a little bit of time talking about how we could work together better.
I just wanted to say that I'm sorry for calling you out in front of everyone. I probably should have talked to you one-on-one first, and I probably should have checked in with you before the event.
Thank you. I accept your apology, but you were right. I should have been more on top of the advertising, and I should have asked for help to get it all done. Next time, I will know how long it takes to get everything done. I also don't think I fully understood all of the group's expectations when I signed up.
And I'll be better at communicating my expectations and checking in along the way, but also know that we're here to help you. And I'm not as good at designing, but I can always help you hang up posters.
I just need to be better at managing my time. I think I can do a better job for the fall finals event. I was wondering if it would be okay if I handled advertisements for that.
That'd be great. I'll be coordinating the details of that event, like who's going to be volunteering and what items we need to bring. I can work with you to make sure that we have all the details included in our advertising.
All right, well, good conversation, y'all. I'm glad we had the chance to talk and set some expectations for the rest of the year. I think that the fall finals event is going to go out fantastic. And remember that as your advisor, I'm always here if you need any additional help.
So, some questions to ask yourself. What signs indicate the stage this group is in? What challenges might a group encounter in this stage? What could or should the group do to move forward from this stage?
Thank you guys so much for coming to this week's meeting. Since some of you guys weren't at last week's conference, I would like to announce that we have received an award for being an excellent peer education group.
That's awesome. It's been so cool to be a part of the group this year. I'm excited to finish out the year together and go into next year.
Yeah, I think we've come together really well and put on some great programs.
When I was at the conference, I got a few more ideas for some programs we could put up. I was thinking it would be really cool if we did something like before spring break and then something after that before graduation for the seniors.
Yeah. Also, since the weather's warming up, I was thinking we can host some events out on the green. They can be a little more casual, like we can throw frisbee around to bring people in.
And we always know food brings people in.
Yeah.
Some questions to ask yourself. What signs indicate the stage this group is in? What challenges might a group encounter in this stage? What could or should the group do to move forward from this stage? And this should be the last video.
We've had such a great senior year with you all. We put on some great programs, won an award, and had so much fun. I know this group is in good hands for next year.
We are so excited that some of our younger group members from this year are stepping up to lead the group next year. To honor your commitment, we would like to give you this binder with all of our notes from this year.
And congrats to the seniors that are moving on. You guys have paved the way for us and taught us all the skills to run this club. It's been wonderful to learn from leaders like you.
Good luck in the real world. Have fun at graduation and don't forget to come back and visit. Let's give this team of seniors a big round of applause for all the hard work they've done this year.
So again, looking back to those questions, what stage do you think they're in? What challenges might occur from those stages? So take a minute, pause, and either write your answers down for all of those questions or just think of them in your head. So now we're going to talk about mission and vision statements. Each group should establish a mission and vision statement that guide members as they work towards achieving their objectives. Our organization does have a mission and vision statement in RISE. To read it to you all, we actually have a vision, mission, and purpose. So our vision is by 2028, RISE will enhance the holistic well-being and safety of the university community. And our mission is to empower Texas Tech students to live vital, meaningful lives through connection to comprehensive prevention education and resources. And our purpose is to provide an environment that promotes student learning, safety, and lifelong success in all dimensions of wellness through collaboration and education. So when we look at the difference between a mission statement and a vision statement, both mission and vision statements are guiding goals for an organization. So how do they differ? The mission statement tends to be short term. It focuses on what you're achieving today. On the other hand, our vision is long term and futuristic. It should answer the question, who do you ultimately want to become? So again, our mission statement is our mission statement is to empower Texas Tech students to live vital, meaningful lives through connection to comprehensive prevention education and resources. So this describes our goals and the things that we want to achieve. Having a strong mission statement also helps our group have conversations about how to allocate our resources, and activities and our functions that we do are directly connected to our mission, our tablings, our presentations, and our events. Our vision is addressing our long-term future. So, you notice that in our vision statement, by 2028, RISE will enhance the holistic well-being and safety of the university community. That's looking long-term. The key point to remember about a vision statement is that it's aspirational and lofty. It's okay if we don't ever achieve this vision, but it's something that we are trying to strive for. So this gives some examples. Company A, we strive to offer our customers the lowest possible prices, the best available selection, and the utmost convenience. And the vision is to be the Earth's most customer-centric company where customers can find and discover anything they might want to buy online. This may be a nonprofit to be the principal source of leadership, scholarship, professional development, and advocacy for student affairs. And then our vision for a nonprofit could be nonprofit N is the leading voice for the student affairs professionals. So that's just kind of some different examples. I'm going to give y'all a second to think of these questions. You can, write them down, think about them in your head. What differences do you see between the mission and vision statements? And how might the type of organization affect the way these statements are phrased? For example, we've got a company, we've got a nonprofit. Ours at Rise are higher education. So how might they differ? So now we're going to look at 7 habits of highly effective peer education group. Now that we have some principles to guide the work that we do, we really want to look at the qualities of group that make it highly effective. So these qualities are strong, diverse membership, well-trained peers. We promote positive images. We have active advertisement. Active advisement, branding, and administrative support, and student ownership. So our strong, diverse membership, that's the first quality to a successful group. We want to be diverse in social identities and skill sets. A strong group cannot be built on just one person or one type of talent. We couldn't have all females in our group because then we wouldn't be able to reach the male perspective of what's going on at Texas Tech. So we should work to identify, even in our small groups, what do we lack, so that way we can reach the entire student body. Another is well-trained peer educators. This is a really good quality of having a good peer education group. Our training is not just going to be at the beginning of the semester. We will bring in, your program manager might give you different trainings to learn and grow from. It's always a good idea also to seek out campus resources and see, learn more about them on your own a little bit so that way you can get your perspective as a student about them. So that's really important. We'll also bring in a lot of professional members from campus to come in and talk to you all. So a well-trained peer educators makes a really good peer educator group. The third quality is to promote positive images. Peer educators are role models on campus. They have been at Texas Tech for as long as I can remember. I've been here 10 years and peer educators have always been role models on campus. We need to remember that others look up to us and we have to behave accordingly. We also make sure that we are correcting misperceived social norms and accepting responsibilities for our own choices. Earlier, I got tongue-tied because I thought it was active advertisement, but it's active advisement. So I apologize for that. But having a strong active advisor for your group is really important. And your advisor will be your program manager. Your advisor should be able to assist with group issues. They'll mentor, teach you, counsel you. The advisor should also coordinate effective and useful trainings. They're going to help promote collaboration within your group. They're going to regularly assess if the group is effectively working towards our mission and vision as Rise peer educators. So your program manager is going to be extremely influential in your time as a peer educator. Branding is huge. An effective peer education group is highly visible. Others on campus know about this group. Again, this is not an issue at Texas Tech. We've got a ton of departments that know all about the Rise peer educators and brag about y'all. We go to NASPA, and our peer educators usually are the cream of the crop. So our peer educators are definitely university known, and even our campus partners know about our peer educators. Another goal is another key to a great peer educator group is being supported by the school's administration. I'm very, very fortunate in my supervisor being extremely supportive of the peer educators that we have. She knows that peer-to-peer education is probably the strongest form of getting our message across. So she's extremely supportive of the work that you all do. And finally, highly effective peer educator groups show peer ownership. The program manager is gonna provide you guidance and enforce institutional policies, but you should be responsible for and committed to the group's success. Additionally, we want to make sure that all members, not just one or two people, are fully engaged in our group. So this is the role of an advisor, but you're going to be under your program manager. So this is really looking at active advisement. What does a strong advisor look like, or what does a strong program manager look like? The first of these is that they'll consult with you on different things. The advisors are going to be subject matter experts in their area, sexual health and healthy relationships, and then alcohol and other drugs, and then our last one, mental well-being. They are the absolute experts in their area. So they will be able to consult with you on programming and event ideas and presentations. So please utilize them. The second role is that of a director. I am y'all's director, and I'm help develop programs. I help with presentations. I'm in my office all the time. I'm happy to help in any way that I can and support you and what y'all see would be beneficial to Texas Tech campus. Any programming ideas y'all have, presentation ideas. My job is to support you all in that. Um, the advisor is also a supervisor in this role. They provide the hiring and firing functions of peer educators. They'll also evaluate you. They'll provide you with training opportunities that you may have throughout your time as a peer educator. They're also an administrator. They will participate in professional networks. They'll promote peer education on campus and in the community, and they'll serve as a buffer between students and institutional processes. Additionally, your program manager will oversee your timesheet, so they'll be in charge of making sure that you're reporting your hours correctly. So now we are done with Module 8, and we are going to go through the review again, so that way we can talk about some key topics that we talked about in the module. So the cycle of formation, remember that first step, forming, the second step, storming, the third step, norming, the fourth step, performing, and the fifth step, when everybody graduates or peer educators leave, adjourning. The difference between a mission and vision statement is that the mission statement focuses on today. The vision statement is going to focus on what is in the future. When we look at the 7 characteristics of highly effective peer education groups, we see 1 being a strong, diverse membership, 2, well-trained peers, 3, we promote positive images, 4, we have active advisement, 5, we have branding, 6, we have administrative support, and 7, we have student ownership. The 4 roles of your peer educator advisor, and I said director being me. They will also serve as a director in your role, but they also have me to lean on. But they will be a consultant, a director, a supervisor, and an administrator. And that wraps up your peer educator training. You do have a post test to take, and then you have a final peer educator test to take. You do have to score 80% on that final test to be a certified peer educator. Thank you all for going through this, and now you are trained.